finally made it to the conclusion of the 9-9 series. Before I get into 9-9 episode 4, I'd highly advise that you play through the other chapters before this one. The previous entries could be played out of order, but I feel that this requires you to play them to understand even the first hour of gameplay. Without wasting too much time in this intro, let's just get on to the review. 9-9 episode 4 begins with Gakuru attempting to understand his powers as the Overlord. This allows him to jump timelines to find a way to defeat Iris and the Evil Eyes user. The opening moments give a quick recap of some of the bad ends, but with Kakuru's memories installed, he discovers what is needed in a new timeline to complete the mission for good. I appreciated this approach because it set a significant reason to spend more time with the Chuny waifu of the group, Naoa Yuki. The narrative here requires an understanding of the relics and the powers of each user. In this timeline, Gakuru is required to make sure he hits all the significant story points with the other girls so they can trust him enough in the final battle, but the toughest nut to crack is Naoa. The recap moments can be a little bit of a drag since you want to get to the resolution as quickly as possible, but it builds up rather nicely in the final battle, leading up to a very standout twist ending. One of the best parts of 9-9 episode 4 is the timeline system where Gakuru can view the events as they happened. For this reason alone, you should probably play the other games before it spoils everything. This entry also really goes into detail about the artifacts and the lore behind their power. However, it knows when to slow down and focus on building relationships between these friends. Since this is the finale, I appreciated that it's also the most significant in terms of character growth. Even though the episode is focused on Naoa in certain parts, you still get plenty of interactions with the other characters. It's evidence there's a romance route available with Naoa, but the story doesn't force this by only having scenes of the two of them. It includes the entire group, and Naoa just ends up being the romance of this narrative. It's bittersweet in a way as you approach the conclusion and think about the previous chapters and how they built up to this. So much has happened and the narrative really tries to cover up all the smallest plot holes. As the main protagonist, Gakuru is used to clear up a lot of the confusion as he simply talks to himself for some moments of the story. It works since he is such a capable lead character. He isn't thrown into a pervy or overly confused trope, but I feel like the maturity he's gained from his previous memories would also affect his outward presence more to where his sister and close friends would take notice. I would just expect him to be more traumatized, but he still holds true to his cool and capable personality, which ends up working either way. 9-9 episode 4 is all about tying up loose ends, saving everyone, and defeating evil. However, it's not always that easy, which sparks some of the more emotional encounters, especially with some of the previous entries' villains. The pacing here was staggered, but I felt that the narrative balanced the bulk of these beats wonderfully, which left me satisfied with the outcome. The art returns from the previous title, including backgrounds and music. Still, there are some unique CGs that are as beautiful as ever. The artist, Izumi Subasu, gives the series a layer of quality that only makes it better. There is an all-ages version that is perfectly serviceable on its own, but the adult patch is needed if you want to get the full Naoa shipping experience. These scenes are also slightly animated for your pleasure. Further, the voiced audio is led by some of the best in the business, and having the main protagonist voice is an option I wish more visual novels would have. 9-9 episode 4 is a great conclusion to the series that only stumbles in the pacing in a few moments of the narrative. Honestly, I enjoyed practically every second of it. It enhanced the memories made in the previous entries while building a new timeline of events to provide a unique experience to readers. If you haven't read this series, I highly advise reading through each chapter to experience this epic conclusion. Noisy Pixel is giving 9-9 episode 4 a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.